Great game mascots are a dime a dozen. Luckily, the indie scene has been working hard to make their own.
Now who wants an autograph? Hey!
Out of the way, Chef Boyardee. A real video game superstar is coming through.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 indie video game mascots.
We indie games are too unique and original for you to comprehend.
For this list, we'll be looking at the mascots from games that were self-published during their original release. We're focusing on a combination of how recognizable they are outside of their respective games and their overall importance to the game itself.
How many others are there? Why is everybody fish?
Number 10, Quote, Cave Story. The classic unsuspecting adventurer, Quote wakes up with amnesia only to find out that he has a big role to play in saving the world. The premise is simple and fitting for the stylish robot and his blaster, but make no mistake, Quote's story is far more nuanced than it seems at first blush. Quote has been a cult icon in games for over a decade, and his success in Cave Story helped pave the way for the oh-so-popular retro aesthetic that countless indie games make use of today. Number 9. Juan Aguacate, Guacamelee. In a feat of pure heroism, local farmer Juan Aguacate finds himself dead at the hands of the dastardly undead Carlos Calaca. Luckily, Juan is resurrected with a magical luchador mask, transforming him into a mighty lucha libre champion in the process, coincidentally fulfilling his lifelong dream. Juan grapples and tosses his foes with all the finesse you'd expect from a mystical luchador, creating a fluidity of movement we don't always see from hand-to-hand combat. And it also doesn't hurt that Guacamelee is a bright, colorful, and all-around gorgeous game. Number 8. Gomez, Fez. Gomez, an adorable white thing, is most identifiable by his Fez hat, which was bestowed upon him when he came face to face with the hexahedron. The life-changing gift gives Gomez the ability to literally rotate the world around him, revealing that his simple two-dimensional world is actually made up of three, you heard that right, 3 dimensions. Gomez and his Fez are emblematic of a new era of authorship in games, thanks in large part to being featured in indie game The Movie. Gomez represents the blood, sweat, and tears of design, yet he still manages to be awfully cute. Number 7. Isaac, The Binding of Isaac.
Isaac kept to himself, drawing pictures and playing with his toys as his mom watched Christian broadcasts on the television.
A game that was originally rejected for Nintendo's consoles, The Binding of Isaac is the story of a little boy, Isaac, battling through his basement to escape his mother, who, after hearing the voice of God, is attempting to sacrifice him to prove her faith.
I will do my best to save him, my lord.
Isaac's world is as morbid as it can be, and he fends off the creatures of the basement with his projectile tears. It's hard to tell if Isaac's tear-soaked face is funny, cute, or terrifying, but it is certainly unforgettable, solidifying him as an indie game mascot. Number 6. Freddy Fazbear, Five Nights at Freddy's series. The lead singer in Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria band, Freddy has become the face of horror for a new generation of gamers, which is true regardless of whether or not you can't stand him. Freddy's iconic music box jingle is instantly recognizable and sets up that one-of-a-kind jump scare terror that the series is known for. The runaway success of Five Nights at Freddy's Let's Play videos online has turned the animatronic bear into an all-time classic horror mascot, so you can expect to keep seeing him in your nightmares for a long time to come. Number 5. Steve, Minecraft.
Let's go wherever you want to go. Climb the tallest mountains.
Here he is, the default character skin for the popular creative sandbox game.
Kids spend hundreds of hours in Minecraft. They can use their imagination to build anything.
Steve, sometimes referred to as the player, may lack any sort of character or personality compared to the other entries on this list, but it's hard to miss his iconic design on anything you see that's Minecraft related, except maybe for Minecraft Story Mode.
Like I said, an abomination.
Fun fact, the character didn't actually get the name Steve until he was set to make a guest appearance in Super Meat Boy, at which point Notch jokingly came up with the name when the devs asked what they should call him. Speaking of which,
No one can tell you what you can or cannot do.
Number 4, Meat Boy, Super Meat Boy. Super Meat Boy is the new high watermark for pixel-perfect platforming games. The small square slab of meat is renowned for being in the game that embodies tough-as-nails gameplay. But Super Meat Boy isn't just about clearing levels. No, Meat Boy is on a quest to save his love. Meat Boy leaves a trail of blood behind him as he runs, an effective way to track your jumps on a level-to-level basis, and a good reminder that Meat Boy is in fact a cube of raw, sticky flesh. Number 3, Tim, Braid. Braid's release signaled a completely new era for indie games. Suddenly, it seemed realistic that an independent game could and should be as narratively complex as anything else in the industry, if not more.
Excuse me, Braid is nothing like Super Sellout 5 or whatever you're in?
Tim's journey through time echoes something beautiful and timid in all of us. Uncovering Tim's fledgling romance is an incredibly poetic experience, and he's an unparalleled mascot for games that evoke this kind of complex sentiment. Wearing a plain suit and tie, Tim is the real everyman. Number 2, Octodad. Octodad, the deadliest catch.
Come on, Dad, where's your sense of gravity?
The man with the 8 strong legs, Octodad is an absolutely priceless, if rather simple character.
What has got you so spooked? Okay.
While on the outside he is a loving husband and everyday father who looks after his kids with the utmost care. He is also an octopus in disguise.
You look so handsome.
He may struggle with some of the basics, like speech or pouring himself a cup of coffee, but when you look into those big, wide, expressive octopus eyes, you feel every single thought going through his head. Don't worry, Octodad, nobody suspects a thing. Before we name our number 1 pick, let's have a look at some honorable mentions. Number 1, Shovel Knight, Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight as a game is something special. It is the most genuine homage to the early years of video games ever made, and at the heart of that experience is a mascot named, you guessed it, Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight feels straight out of the mid-80s. He quests, he jumps, he digs, he captures the imagination, and there's something altogether endearing about him. He's even got his own amiibo, the first ever indie game to get such a figure. Hey, if he can impress Nintendo, what can't he do? Shovel Knight feels like a character we've known all our lives, a triumphant indie game mascot. Did we miss a classic indie mascot?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything, but
Who are your favorites? Let us know in the comments, and make sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com for more great top 10s published every day.
Aw, man, look at all this learning. Come on, Dad, let's get through all this junk so we can get out of here.